my family had to watch the money that we spent. It wasn't easy, but I definitely learned some important lessons. Like how to save for stuff that I really wanted and how to make a budget.
The Beebs is now endorsing a prepaid debit card, and he is getting paid, listen to this, almost $4 million by Spend Smart to do it, to put this out there.
Wow. So questions everywhere. Brad Huffman is a certified financial planner from Future Finances, and he joins us again. And today we're going to talk about this because this card, number one, you're not a fan.
Not really. You have to be very careful. I think the concept is neat, but you have to be careful because at the end of the day, what do I have to pay to get access to this? And what are the pros and the cons? So you got to be careful. Not a bad idea, but it's got to be done the right way.
So what are they paying for this?
Well, let's start out. You open the card. Basically what you're doing is it's a prepaid debit, so it's not a credit card. You're loading money onto this card so you can use it. Sounds like a great idea. But the problem you have is when you open the card, each month you're going to hit with a $3.95 charge just for the privilege of having it.
Oh, so it's not a one-time use card?
No, you can continue to reload it, and unfortunately, just to have it, it's going to cost you about $4 a month.
$4 a month.
If you think about it that way, you're not going to put a ton of money on it. Let's say you average about $500. So throughout the year, that maintenance fee, if you will, is going to cost about 10% of what you have on the card.
Right.
So, again, great idea, but you're chewing up some of your principle. And if the idea is to teach this, young person about money, you're throwing some money out the window
already.
Talk
about the other fees, too. That's not the only one.
Yeah, that's not the only one. Again, you got to read the fine print. The next one is this. Let's assume you don't use it for a month. Okay, there's a 30-day period. Now you're going to get hit with a $3 inactivity fee. So you're getting penalized for not spending money. That's not a concept I like. Again, it's not that unique to this card, but pretty much, a lot of them are carrying it. But again, you have an inactivity fee.
And what about this ATM fee?
ATM fee, yeah. Many times you're used to it. You go to your bank, it's free. You go somewhere else, you're going to get hit. This one, no matter where you go, you're going to get hit with a $1.50 fee.
Wow.
So you could be spending, if you think about it this way, maybe $8 to $10 a month in fees from not doing a whole lot. And that, again, is not the right message you want to be passing across.
Well, we're talking about trying to teach our kids in the first place to manage money, and it sounds like it's pretty much saying feel free to throw it away.
And the other thing that I don't necessarily like, if you've got an older teen, credit history is a big deal, especially when you're talking about buying a car and a house down the road. This doesn't do anything to build a credit history. It's just a debit card. So you've just got a payment vehicle, you're zapping it, it's great. Now, they may learn about money,
and
using it and budgeting, but there may be better ways to do it. And again, there's a lot of programs out there. This is just one that's very high profile because Justin Bieber's involved. There may be some better ones out there you can shop around, but again, you got to be careful because this is not necessarily an inexpensive way to teach them about money, and I think there's some better vehicles that you could use.
Yeah, I told you in commercial break that when I was, I think, about 16, my mom actually did sign me up for a credit card with the simple idea of building credit, and boy, I didn't appreciate it until I had to start making purchases, and it was very strict. I mean, it was for buying gas, and it certainly wasn't like free reign.
And I think
but it really made a difference, I think, in my credit life.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea. One of the things that I would suggest first is kind of go to the basics. Start out with a checking account. Typically, it can be free. You've got these kids' accounts. You can set them up. Good way to get them started. Maybe if they've got a cell phone, and all the kids have a cell phone, is have them pay that bill once a month. Show them how to write a check, and a lot of kids do not know how to fill out a check. I had a class 25 years ago where you had to write a check. I don't think they do that anymore. And then have them track the balance. Graduate from there. One of the programs that I like is something really called a secured credit card. It's got some pros and cons to it, but what the neat thing is a credit card, so you can build some history with it. It's limited. You basically put money into an account that kind of becomes collateral. So they can't spend a huge amount of money, but it kind of gives them access. The only thing you got to be careful about, it is a credit card, so it does have an interest rate to it, and that interest rate could be relatively high. So you have to be careful. This is not something you hand it to them and say, you're on your own, Junior, go run and have fun. You really do want to stay on top of it, because much like the Justin Bieber card, it can get expensive if you're not.
But it is linked to their savings account.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
With the credit, basically you're putting down money. It's a secured card, so it's not going to allow you to have a huge limit. It's going to be limited, but it's going to help build that credit history.
That's a great
In my opinion, if you're going to teach them about money, let's also try to build that credit profile. Again, you shouldn't be encouraging your kids to go out and spend money to build a history. The whole idea is if they have some expenses now and again, the cell phone, maybe gas, which is a great one because you know they're going to need it, is these little expenses here and there, have them use that, and more importantly, make sure they know how to track it.
That's a great
Because
idea.
And
if you
make
ask
them pay it off every
that's right.
month.
That's
every
the whole
single month.
idea, is to teach
Yeah.
that responsibility, get them in the behavior. Many parents don't budget. Their
Yeah.
kids don't know how to do it because mom and dad don't.
What
So
are you
this is
living?
It's
steps.
another do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly.
Well, I
exactly.
know,
I do great at this. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead and get started on that.
Being all
But
preachy
yeah,
here.
there's some great vehicles, but again, you have to read the fine print.
Yes.
Okay.
Not everyone is good. This card has some good stuff to it, some bad stuff to it. You got to read the fine print every single time.
Brad, thank you so much,
My
as
pleasure.
always, for opening our eyes.
Absolutely.
And watch out for the Beaver card.
Yep.
Look out.
It's coming for
Exactly.
you.